ARCS now provides additional flexibility when determining permissions and access in roles. So as a reminder, under Administration, under User Settings, click on Roles to set up any role. Say, for example, you have a study manager, somebody who is creating studies, creating lists, putting together the studies, assigning a questionnaire. So you want them to have complete full access to studies, to lists, but maybe you don't want them to have access to a panelist. If I can click on the three dots over here, this shows me exactly what access they have. So somebody in a situation like that, I'm going to give full access to creating studies and making changes to studies, and in creating and changing lists. But again, maybe I don't want them to have access to making changes to panelists, but I want them to be able to see a panelist account, what attributes they may have and things like that. So I'm going to give them read-only access here so that they can see that information, but they can't change it. Typically what read access only is. Okay, and then for full access, obviously that they can make changes and create those. Additionally, I've got them under reports so that they can run reports on the study that they've done, but they can't make changes to the reports and mix them up from what they were originally intended to do. Now notice I have these three dots here in the middle for each one of these options as well. So in this case, this is where I get additional options to see and do certain tasks or have certain permissions. So for example, under panelists, keeping in mind I can only see those people, maybe I don't want them to be able to export, maybe I don't want them to be able to see, and them being the users, the ARCS users, I don't want them to be able to see their payment information. I can uncheck those boxes so that again, they have access to seeing this information or these sub-roles, but they can't change any of that information. Okay? On the flip side of that, under, say, full access, we'll click on studies, and again, typically because it's full access, they're going to have permissions to everything and be able to make changes to it. If by some chance there's something that I don't want them to have access to, I don't know, maybe it's study analytics under full access, they can do everything else, but for whatever reason, I don't need to give them access to study analytics, I can uncheck that and save that, and again, that will save, and they will not have access to that. So again, under each one of these areas, under reports, here again, they've got read-only access. I've got them set up so that they can bring up that report and they can see it. They can export it, but they cannot make changes to it. And then here, I've unchecked their permissions to be able to see a couple of other reports that maybe there's no need for them to get in and have access to. So again, lots of fun with more flexibility in creating roles in what somebody can and can't do for ARCS users.